because of the election of Donald Trump and the Make America White Again movement, he feels empowered to be able to say what he wants to say. He knows that it's wrong, but he feels entitled. He feels privileged. It's white privilege. It's white power.
That's institutional racism. Your son will likely not have to deal with that because he is white. So when someone says white privilege, that's all they're talking about, is that his whiteness will mean that a police officer might give him a second chance.
They're all hoping to start a race war. They're always trying to do that. This is a persistent infection in white American culture.
Today I understand that I move through the world always and most particularly as a white person. I have a white frame of reference and I have a white experience.
It's terrible to be white.
A lot of people that we would speak to today would call what you're saying racist.
Yeah, I am racist.
I can't get over the gentle lady from South Carolina talking about white privilege. It was a spit in the face, at least of mine as a black woman, for you to talk about what white privilege looks like, especially from that side of the aisle.
You claim that color blindness was the goal of the civil rights movement, based upon Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech, content of character versus the color of skin. Bernice, Dr. King's daughter, points out that 4 years after giving that speech, actually, Dr. King also said this: a society that has done something special against the Negro for hundreds of years must now do something special for Negroes.
And so sometimes white people, it does block a white person because you go white privilege, and the person goes, I'm poor and I'm white, where's the privilege? White people are like, I wish I could activate my white privilege. I wish I could do it right now. White privilege, give me something. I get that. I get that. Trust me, I get it. It is hard to accept that you have benefits because of the color of your skin if you cannot see the benefits that you have.
It's your privilege. That's what it is. I shouldn't have made you guess.
Privilege. My privilege. Right. I do know that when I hear it, it makes me feel bad.
It's perfectly normal to feel a little bit guilty talking about privilege. But if it helps, having privilege isn't your fault. It's something you inherited, not something you did wrong.
Stand up against the poison. White supremacy, as I did my inaugural address, to single out as the most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy.
They were telling me that I need to show the opposite of white privilege. Well, what is that? I never told my students that white privilege is a fact. I just asked them to look at it. That's it. And I asked them, okay, well, if I have to teach the opposite of white privilege, do I have to teach the opposite of the Holocaust? Do I have to say that the Holocaust didn't happen? Do we have to say that the earth is flat?
Critics, however, warning that eliminating all DEI policies and staff roles at a leading public university will have ripple effects nationwide.
Our young people, our students, our educational institutions are the ones who become the collateral damage of everything that we're seeing right now.
First of all, on the issue of critical race theory, etc., I'll obviously have to get much smarter on whatever the theory is. But I do think it's important, actually.
Feel free to edit this out, but because I'm really embarrassed to be here with you, because this is just another example of white privilege, using your white privilege, and what are you going to do with it other than come into this space and take?
You see ways that you've benefited from white privilege?
Sure, I've benefited just because I don't have to go through what my black brothers and sisters have had to go through, number one. But number two, grow up here in Scranton. We're used to guys who look down their nose at us. We're looked at people who look at us and think that we're suckers. Look at us and they think that we're not equivalent to them.
Cash checks and taken opportunities because they were available to me, and never really thinking, how did I get where I am? What is responsible for that? Does my color of skin have to play a part? And it absolutely does.
It is hard when you're swimming in the ocean to know exactly what's happening around you so much as it is when you're standing on the shore, perhaps watching. For me, look, I was born white, middle class, in the middle of America.
Or, Republican politicians, it always says more about them than it does about the people that they are talking about. And while it may be a dog whistle to, some number of Republican voters that this has worked on over the years, maybe in previous races, It is also a signal. I mean, how many women, how many people of color, have heard DEI or heard, suggestions that maybe they didn't earn, the job that they got, or they shouldn't be the place that they're in. That kind of language also galvanizes them.
What does it mean to be white in a society that proclaims race meaningless, yet is profoundly separated by race? And to start this off, I want to draw your attention to the fact that I'm white. And part of being white is that is a very uncomfortable thing for me to do. And it's taken me many, many years to be able to draw people's attention to my race and see any significance in it.
Like I have white guy tacos and
what is
like
that,
black,
like mayonnaise and tuna? What are you doing?
pretty much ground beef and cheese.
That's
and,
okay. Do you put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh.
Here's the deal. No, they said to be careful and let her know this, that black pepper is the top of the spice level in Minnesota,
I'm the first vice president, I believe, who has ever grown chili peppers.
Well, trying to expand my food knowledge.